Hi, good day, everyone. This is Danokec. Today we're going to be giving you the Danokec gist in a different dimension. I'm going to be doing this while walking. So I would start with working on the projects we have at hand today, which is the AdSense. The month of April is what we are on right now, and I'm quite positive on a lot of things we'll achieve. But in order for us to achieve these things, we would have to be extremely, focused and positive. Okay, I have my Windows computer here with me. You can clearly see this is a Windows computer. I'm recording from a Mac. So the way I actually do my setting is I have a Windows computer and I use a capture card. A capture card is like a card you plug, like normally you put your HDMI to your monitor, from your monitor to your computer. So as you're using your computer, you be seeing everything on your monitor because of the HDMI cord. Now, what I did was to get a capture card. So the capture card is like an intermediary between the monitor and my computer. So it's just something that stays in the middle. Now, what it does is it captures that signal, and then I can use the signal for anything. It can capture it, and I would use the signal for maybe dubbing or tutorials, like in my own case. But if it's for dubbing, for instance, Netflix doesn't let you use what is it called again? Netflix doesn't let you screen record, but I can confidently open Netflix here and watch Netflix and dub it if I want because I'm using a capture card. But I mean that's not why I bought it. I bought it practically because I was trying to make tutorials on my MacBook, but it was very difficult, right? So I figured out that it's better I use my Windows computer to do tutorials, then I will just capture it. Since if you're doing screen recording already takes some resources of the computer. But a capture card doesn't even let the computer strong. Like the computer is just gonna be doing its normal thing. It won't even be like the computer is in anything. Why at the background? I'm using something outside to capture the signal. So that's what I'm using. I'm using a capture card. So the job I have at hand today is to finish up what we started, which is the AdSense section. However, I don't like the graphics of my capture card. Somehow I feel the graphics is kind of low. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like it's blurry. I can't really see clearly what I'm doing here. And it's not making sense to me because I have one of my computers here and it works perfectly fine on the monitor. So I don't know why it is blurry over here. So I'm going to try on this other computer to see if it's something of a capture card. Mm. So I figured out that this capture card I bought is not this China generic capture cards. Like they don't really have a name to themselves. It's just written there 4K capture card. So I think that's my bad. Okay, I'm seeing a capture card that has PCI. That means I can plug it to the board of my computer. The honest truth is, if I see the one that I like now, I'm making a purchase straight away because I want to be making tutorials constantly. And I want my tutorials to be the highest quality ever. I don't want anybody to be able to compete with me when it comes to tutorial. I want to be able to give the best out of the best. Since money is not a problem, so bear with me. I'm gonna be watching the video here, but let me pause this video first. I'm trying to watch. If you look at this monitor, okay, let me switch here to my full shot. If you look at this monitor here, you can see this is like showing me something. It's a tutorial. I'm trying to check capture cards. This middle one is like the one I used to capture. So the way I did it was I connected my capture card to my MacBook, right? Not this MacBook, there's another MacBook. Connected it to the MacBook. So the MacBook is capturing everything that's happening on the Windows. Now the capturing is showing on my OBS. I use this OBS software to capture. to record rather. So everything that is capturing on my capture card is being shown on my OBS. So because my screen is wide, I have like an ultra wide screen. It's a 34-inch screen, 34-inch 4K screen. The middle of the screen, which is from here to here, is what shows me what I'm recording. Like I have my iPhone over there. I don't use a digital camera. It's my iPhone. This is my iPhone. My iPhone is recording. All right. Good. I'm capturing my iPhone video. Now, if I want to capture what is on my computer, I'll just switch over to my Windows PC and to start capturing my Windows PC. So this way, if I'm making tutorials, I can be doing tutorials at the fly. It's not something I have to go and post edit. Like, okay, today I want to teach you so and so thing, so and so thing. I will now go back and now start editing it. That one will take me time. So instead of editing, if I want to talk, I'll just switch over to full short film. Hi, good day. I want to teach you on how to create, you know, a forex automated trading bot, and we're going to do this using Python. We'll start with the APIs. Now I can have like a picture that I would just toggle. Like I can toggle a picture if I want to. I could toggle a picture if I want to. If I have a picture here, for instance, I could just toggle it up or anything, and to show up on the screen. And while the picture shows, as I'm talking, I can actually make a page, a web page that will show all those things. I can I can even create a PowerPoint. So while I'm talking to you, I'll just head over to my PowerPoint. As I'm clicking on the PowerPoint, I'm explaining, right? So let me take you back here, for instance. This is my Windows computer where I have my webcam. I can be using my PowerPoint now to tell you this, and then I click this, and then I click. So that way I can create videos without looking for a way to edit them. So before now, I will shoot tutorials finish. I will not come back to do B-roll. That means after teaching you everything, I will not create another video where I'm talking and I'm explaining. They will not cut that side, join it, and do transition, cut tutorial. Oh man, it will fit take 2 days to edit video of 30 minutes. So this simply means I'll keep releasing tutorials, but the time to edit them to, like now I'm using one of the best microphone. This is SM7B, Shure SM7B, connected to a Focusrite. As I'm talking to you, there's some little background noise around there, but you're not gonna hear any noise. My air condition is on. It's on to the highest. Sometimes I reduce my air condition on my previous mic because that's other microphone. If the air condition is on, the noise somehow enters the mic. You'll be hearing this one filters the hell out of the whole sound. It only captures my voice, right? So I'm trying to up my tutorial game, and this capture card now is a problem for me. So, like for instance, now, this is what. Let me switch over to Mac, to Windows rather. This is what we're supposed to do today. Let me take you to what we're supposed to do today. That was okay. This is for the Dannyokec group. I want to see the things we have to do today, or the things I'm working on now. I can. Okay, this is it. Approved and okay. I don't know where is this. There is this. Some pages here are no longer rhyming well. Oh. Okay, so I have a developer or a designer rather, a designer of the developer. He creates what we call the UI UX, which is the interface, of the platform. So with the interface of the platform, we're able to, like, every company or every good digital company. Let me switch over to where you can see me clearly. The way it works, like I see people who come in and say, "Oh, I'm a software programmer." Now only you they create your software. Now only you they design your software. Now only you they write content for your software. It doesn't work that way. I learned it the hard way. The way it works is, if you have a digital agency, like me now, I've grown into an agency. We have a UI UX designer. His own job is to create all the interactions. Like UI means user interface, UX means user interaction or user experience, whichever that interchangeably. Now, these people' job is to create that user interface that people would see, whether it's a software for mobile phone, whether it's a website, whether it's a normal software, anything that will involve where people can be interacting with the software. It's created by UI UX. So they're the ones who create the Instagram you see, like not like the Instagram, those design of the Instagram you see. A UI UX will create where this button will be. They're just graphics. They don't really do coding. Nothing concern them with coding. Their own job now. Okay, this is Instagram now. We want it to be like this. DMs will be here. To add picture, you put a plus here. Then that is the user design, right? They will create the design of what Instagram will be. They will not create things like the experience of what Instagram will be. If you click on the love button, let the love do boom, let it pop up. If you click on block, let it ask you, are you sure you want to block this person? If you click on bio, let it show what this person's bio is. They'll be the one to design. Okay, let us have a section for pictures. Let us have a section for graphics. So UI UX, they're the people who design what an app would be like. The design of an app. You will be software programmer, you know, concern you. Now when you just they start new, now you need to go tell you say, may you design them, make you do them. When you don't the advance for software programming, that job now for UI UX. Then UI UX no be the same thing with graphics. So graphics is like in my company right now, I have Tomika, he does UI UX. He's the head of UI UX. Graphics now is Charles Graphics. Anything that involves banner, maybe want to create a banner, want to create a flyer, maybe thumbnail. Like if you look at some of my YouTube videos, you see very beautiful thumbnail. My graphic designer is the one who does that. It is Ramadan. We need to create a graphic saying, "Oh, happy Ramadan." He does it. Or let's leave that on now for social media engagement. Let's talk about apps. Now, the UI UX would be the one to design everything, right? But once in a while, we'll need the graphic designer. He will come in to do things like, okay, you know what, graphic designer, we want you to create something like a big giant button to say page not found. He will not be the one to create that big X and write page not found. Or something very creative. The UI UX does it. We'll not have people who will call icon, that is inside the UI UX. We'll have people who do nothing more but icon. If you check Google now, Google has unique icons. If it's anywhere where you see Google icon, you go know that Google icon. They get their own pattern of creating icon. The same thing with Facebook, the same thing with Twitter. So all those icons are unique, right? But you will be upcoming software programmer now. You go Google, go they find random icon. They use stock images. You see they come up. But it get where you go become company and agency. If a company employs you for something, they don't want you using that like they most of these images, some of them are copyrighted. You just go there and steal them and edit them and remove the watermark. No. When you start becoming an agency, you notice that every single thing should be unique. They should have a branding. You don't pick things randomly to create a website. So a UI UX would be the one to design. A graphics, the graphics department will come up with logo and icons, and they're still the ones who do most of the thumbnails, right? They work interchangeably. UI UX with the graphics department. In my own company, I have to make it for graphics, and I have to make it for UI UX, and I have Charles for graphics. Now these are like the two people. Now they're the ones doing graphics. So me now as a software programmer now, that is where I come in. I will now have to pick a struggle. Either they pick struggle for front end or they pick struggle for back end. Choose your battle. You can't be the two of them. But if you don't hustle the way I don't hustle see shege, you go learn both front and back, which I did learn both front and back. I'm good in both of them anyway. But what I love most is the back end. I don't reach one extent so I can't understand. Say the front end doesn't have any security breach. It doesn't have so many things you put into factor. The back end and their way problem they bank can outsource anybody to create their front end. But you see that back end, the amount of oaths and I swear I will never disclose plenty die because that is where the main company is. So that is where I'm giving my whole focus on. So once in a while, I employ software programmers to come and help me create the front end. If my UI, UX, and my graphics, if they come up with what the design of a website or an app is going to be like, after they don't finish them, me, I'll come go back. I will now look at all the features. Maybe we created a feature of messages, we created a feature of like, of add content. Bam, me the back end and then I'll call it design it what they call APIs. By APIs, it simply means I would create things that once you call, it will be able to do certain things. You don't just carry any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Tell them to come they access your website database, your company structure. Oh boy, they go hack you. So if you put back doors tomorrow, your website don't go down. Or tomorrow somebody is telling you to pay billions of naira ransom. So the best way to do that is to have selective people. In my company, the only person I've been able to trust is somebody I call Emmanuel and Charles Onweze. These are the only two people I can, as to a great extent, say, okay, have access to my back end because, we've been able to build a reputation. It's not something you can give to anybody. So Emmanuel is the head of software. So basically, me myself, not just Ogawa be once in a while, I call him, we talk about what is it going to be like. Now the back end, it's something that one person sometimes cannot do alone. It's things you discuss. Like for instance, I'm working on a project which I would share with you from the beginning of the project down to the fruition. The aim is for you to learn exactly how we launch products. This product is something that will change the whole real estate business in Nigeria. It's something I created few years ago, but that time when I created, oh laugh me yo. I still be that program I want be the a few minutes ago. Now let me be the UI UX, now let me be the graphics, now let me be the front end, now let me be back end, now let me be project manager, now let me be everything. And the company floated, it did well, but I mean obviously you don't create a startup yourself alone. If there's anything I can go back to change, I would go back to work with people and read books. I think whenever you see me doing videos, you see books everywhere. They're not for fancy. I'm a nerd. And while reading, I got to figure out that you need people to be able to create a product and an empire. It's something I wish they told me, but they didn't tell me. I did it. I flopped. So now I don't tell you. It's up to you to go do and where. So what I'm teaching you today now is what Tomike, my UI UX, has designed. So what I'm trying to do right now is to look at the concept of what he has done and draft out what the back end is going to be like. So I've worked with lots of Nigeria front end programmers, and I can tell you, always you, it's not easy. You give a Nigeria programmer to design something on the front end, it's either there is no light, there is no data, he's busy, something, something. They'll tell you it's 1 week, it's 2 weeks, or it will even take 4 months to achieve something that sometimes and I think make it be like something they efficient. I'm a software programmer, I'll not be Sano Sabido, I Sabido all of them. Oh. I will come go first. Sit up, come the code myself. And it was what really slowed down my progress in lots of things. So what I do now is I use Indians, these Indian guys with the freelancer, Upwork, Fiverr. I engage them. In fact, if you watch my video, the other day I was complaining about how I couldn't pay them. I had to like take them to crypto. Doesn't make any sense. If I engage somebody on Fiverr, I will not tell you I want to pay you 3 USDT because I couldn't pay with Fiverr. Fiverr requires PayPal. So it was because of the pressure I was able to find a way to get my PayPal account verified, which is a plus win for me. So now I can easily go to Fiverr and employ front end developers. So when we see what Tomike has done, which is UI UX, we'll first of all structure what the back end is going to be like. I will tell you how it's going to be, the system architecture, what software are we using to do it, what programming language, what framework. Are we going to be using Python? Are we going to be using Node.js? Are we going to be using PHP? Are we going to be using Golang? What backend structure are we going to be using? What database? Are we going to be using Firebase? Are we going to be using Mongo? Are we going to be using MySQL? What database? How are they going to be structured? What will the APIs be like? Now, it is not something you do immediately. It's something we'll first plan. In fact, creating a software at the back end requires the first one, functionality. How will these things function? The second one, security. For every single function, there are sometimes vulnerability. So you have to go back to check if this function or if these things you're using has vulnerability. I think one of the worst vulnerability I encountered was when I created a medium where people can upload images. That means you can upload like your profile picture or something. I wasn't aware there was a vulnerability on one PH uploader that I use. That vulnerability made it possible for you to upload a backdoor script. So for my website now, if you're familiar with Kali or Parrot OS, it's what we call ESIF. It is what you use to put virus inside a picture. So you can take a picture of me now, charm, after snapping me, you put it on Parrot OS, you put a backdoor script inside there. And once you upload that picture to my website, you go get access to my website. If you enter, delete my whole database. If you hack me, carry my whole data. Or more, I don't know. Now when one idiot do me the thing, they tell me see my pay and 2K does. Look what I get my GitHub. The amount of authentication, they crazy. And I told him, would you show me how you did it? He said, hey, God, you know how they talk now, ethical hackers, they don't see one vulnerability, they want first of all, when they blow their trumpets, they tell you their certification and all that. I had to go through log of almost 2 days plus because guy was telling me I should pay him like 10K. You know, he practically deleted my site. I should pay him like 10K. So what I figured out was with my whole experience in hacking, if I pay him that 2K for him to restore my file, the vulnerability is there. He said I should pay him 10K. The problem with hackers is they don't really tell you exactly what vulnerability they had. So they can come back and exploit you again. You'll be like blackmailer who catch you today, get your sex tape, go come back tomorrow. There you say, I'll pay again. And so what I decided to do was to go back again and start thinking of okay, how would this guy have access? I was practically reading all my codes again. Now there I can't see that my PHP uploader. I don't know waiting just inspire me. I feel it was local because that time I really felt that I check my whole code, everything this smooth. I be me be hacker now. I get lots of certificates now. Like I'm a certified hacker in numerous. I have lots of. I don't want to start going into that now. So I read all my code, know where problem they come from, and one of the principles of backend is after functionality, check security. So I started going through the whole security. I think I can't go see say the PHP image manager what they use. They don't bring new version. Oh. The old version get vulnerability. Oh. ESIF, they fit carry and inject something for person website. I all go back for my GitHub, clone am to my PC, upgrade the PHP mailer, put them back. And I'm really very lucky that the site he wasn't able to really get any realistic authorization because I put my website now in things like Dockers. I have my DNS one section which has a whole different password, a whole different two-factor authentication. Then I have a hosting server differently, right? And each of my sites are being hosted differently on their own VPS. So if you hack one of my sites now, only that one you go fee hack. You know if you enter the other ones. And then I went to that particular one, reformatted the whole system, made sure I changed every single thing. Then cloned back it on my website, put it back. And then he told me, oh, because the first thing he asked me was, do you have a backup? And I said, no. I mean, when it comes to ethical hacking, you act like you're the most vulnerable. That is the principle of hacking. It's called social engineering. When a hacker meets you, you don't act like you're one steps ahead. They'll start thinking of how to mold you more. Act like you're on their mercy. That way you get them. And so he came back again. I've got you. Told him, if you hack me again, mate, I pay you $10,000. And then he tried it today as not. So that simply means the back end has a whole lot of work to do, and it's something you need to really put your eyes on. So I cannot be doing back end and still want to be doing front end because back end is very delicate, right? So Fiverr, I get to employ this front end. One of the questions asked me, can the front end developers in any way hack you? Um, yeah, if you let them create it and you implement it without proofreading it, in a sense that if I finish creating my backend, I'll only give you APIs and I'll relate what those APIs can do. But even after creating your own front end, I would have to go back to your because I'm like I said, I do both front end and back end. I'm familiar with the both, but I just don't have strength to start coding my front end. I mean, when you have money, you should start employing people to make work easy for you. So that is the concept of the whole thing. So when you give me, I can take 1 hour to read a code that took 1 week to write. Right? The thing about coding is it takes creativity, imaginations to it takes you time to draw. Like you see this thing now, if I want to draw a picture, it will take me hours to draw that picture. But it only takes me 5 seconds to read it. Right? If I want to act a movie, it could take me 1 month to shoot that movie. It will only take me 30 minutes to watch the movie. That is how it is in software programming. So it could take the software programmer hours, days to do it. But when they're done with it, I will just look at the code and within few minutes, I already know if there's a vulnerability they're trying to inject on my side, and I'll tell you, come, what is this? I won't even tell you most times. They just they fix them, but I've rarely seen anyway because I've rarely seen, but I know it's possible. If anyone wants to do it, they can do it. So I think you guys learned something today on software program. I really, oh my god, this my clothes is a bit rumpled though. No mind me. Just came out, picked up a normal cloth at home, and I wore. I wasn't hoping on being professional today or putting on a suit or something. So I really talk about my profession. Coming online is usually talking about funny things and movements. But yeah, so if you learned anything on software programming today, use the comment section. So let's head back into showing you what Tomika did. Let us map out our back end and proceed from there. So let's head back to my computer. And back to wetin we be dey talk before sef. The issue wey we get now for this project be say I can't find where to make did this thing. This is my Figma. There are types of Figma. I use Figma business. Okay, let me go to my team. This is my team on Figma. I don't know. I think it will start showing you my staff's email and all that. So let me quickly leave here before. Let me switch out to. Let me switch out to when they show my staff sensitive details. Okay, let me stop this video. I want to go get a capture card. This one is not capturing my Windows computer properly. So let me get a proper capture card and I'll be back. So till next time, this is Dannyokec. Please hit the like and subscribe or how you guys do it to give me engagement.